Hey guys and gals on YouTube, how y'all doing? Dave Boyd here, and picked this up at the local hardware store, Home Depot in this case. Went with medium black. Clear these days seems to be primarily for CPVC and PVC. I could have sworn I know there was a green one and other colors when I was a long time ago. Anyways, it's terribly mangled because this was a leaker I bought at the store, and this nasty stuff had gotten all over the seals, and you see how nasty it looks. You do not want to get that on your minifigure in your hands because it will destroy everything. Now, when you start off on a project like this, remember, this is garbage, right? First of all, Castle Knot figure arm is very loose on this side too. Crack very obvious. Torso crack, one of the worst. It's more like a separation on the mold line. In this case, the legs have almost fallen out too. We have two figures. This side is very loose. This side is stiff. Okay. Cracked. Legs are still pretty good. No crack. Mold line, but so the legs are still pretty good. So this one, maybe we'll save it in case, you might want to practice with things like this. Also use good ventilation, of course. Now I was going to use some special tools and just pliers and stuff, but let's just keep it simple. We have here 1x6. Now remember, this is the intermediate era, so it does not have, it's not solid. We'll get to that in a minute. So first of all, remember, don't get this stuff on your hands because you'll get fingerprints or whatever, you'll destroy it. Just start pulling the legs off. So what we'll do is we'll push this gently in here, and it should create a separation. Just like that. Okay. Now, this glue lightly melts. That's how it works. So everything needs to come off. Bring your arms up to about here, and then just gently pop them. Like so. See the separation? Okay. Probably go easier on this side. Okay, you have your bare torso. See the cracks and the way it's made inside. Okay. So when you push this in here gently, it will create an opening like so, opening like so. I may do this a little bit differently, actually, come to think of it. For something like this, maybe, now see, now I'm starting to change it now. Let's just keep it simple. Just wondering if I'm going to end up ruining this brick. Probably will, this plate. It'll become a tool, so to speak. Yeah. All right. First of all, you don't want to use a dauber in here, so take a piece of cardboard or something. Remember, you can get this stuff everywhere. Just plan on the worst, because this stuff is for DWV piping, so it's not really designed to be used for anything surgical like this. Okay. I'm kind of experimenting a little bit here. I'm not 100% sure which way to proceed on this. Almost wish. The reason I want to open that is so it flows in there a little bit. This is going to be better. I need something that's a little bit smaller tool, but I'm trying to keep it simple, so maybe, no, let's just use this. Okay, so go ahead and push this in the center here. Yep, just like that. So gently press down, it'll spread the cracked areas. I'm going to take one of these Q-tip. Usually I would use like a toothpick, but I don't know if this would really work well for that. So don't get in a hurry, but at the same time, remember this stuff does set up fast. It's designed for plumbing, so what I might do is I might go ahead and take this and dab it on the inside. It's already starting to tack up. Then we'll go ahead and shove this in there and help it kind of soak into there. And then press this down. Take the other side of it and gently clean it. Remember not to get this stuff all over the place, and it will dry quickly. You use a cardboard to clean it up, because you don't want it on your hands. And of course, is this figure ruined now? Yes it is, kind of, but this will be fine for display and stuff, and it should work fine. We'll go ahead and apply more in there, see if I can force more into those areas. It's very tacky now. It's basically and I think for your viewing pleasure, oh golly, just dropped it into the cement. That's just wonderful. Like I said, you know, what can go wrong often will go wrong on situations like this, so it's not supposed to happen, but this is, you know, hey, this is what happens with me. Working on cars, whatever's going on. So I want to use a tool here and gently scrape before I completely destroy this. This stuff, like I said, will literally attack plastic very quickly, so I was about to brag and say, hey, look, I got it perfectly, and of course I don't. Anyways, at my expense, you now can see how quickly this stuff will damage plastic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll probably use an emery board and clean and polish that. You won't even be able to tell it was ever done. Well, that's not true, actually, but it'll be a good job of packing. Now, if this was like a more recent figure, we could just put a backpack over it, it'd be fine. But the key thing is I will set these figures aside and mark they've been repaired or they've been messed with. That way, if they get sold or something, people won't buy it thinking that's a great figure. Now you don't see, there's this a slight, well, there's this, because that's my mess, but okay. That should stabilize it. This stuff is already tacky, but don't get in a hurry. Don't reinstall arms or whatever right away, because it could still be wet and it'll glue your arms or mess up your legs. And sometimes for things like this, like I said, a little bit of practice goes a long way. I'll clean up a little bit of sandpaper because there's no printing on the back. Then I'm going to do exactly what I tell you to not do. Seems to be fine. We'll see. Okay, set that one aside. I'm going to do the other one while I got all this stuff out, because part of the problem here is I've got a bottle that'll probably be garbage. Ooh, this arm is really in there. I don't want to break anything. You know what? This arm's not coming out. I don't want to damage it because this plastic is already cracking. So the other side's not broken. So what we're going to do is we're going to do only the bad side on this one. Hopefully it comes out a little bit better. And we'll probably crank this down and it may never open again. I hope it doesn't happen, but you just never know. Okay. We're going to put in the one side here. I didn't use the brick. I'm just using the force of this Q-tip to lightly force it open. See, a little bit of glue came up to the edge here. Should be stabilized. More than a repair, you're looking at making it stable. Yeah, it's cured to what they call tacky. But it's not cured. It's not all the way yet, so we'll go ahead and set it aside, and hopefully it's success as opposed to unsuccess. And this piece here that I figured probably was ruined, it's probably okay. It's got a little bit of damage from the ABS cement, but nothing too bad, I don't think. It was one from a bulk lot with some teeth marks, so. Okay, it might be another video later to do a little bit of what I want to call a stress test on these pieces. Appreciate the views. Great community. Till next time, y'all stay safe. Ciao.